So first of all, I want to thank my host, Miss Cynthia Chinasa, for inviting me and for putting this together. Please give her a round of applause. If you have ever done an event, then you understand what it means to put an event together, especially in this economy. So it's not an easy feat. Thank you so much. I want to also thank the previous speaker, Mr. Raymond. Good to see you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I want to recognize my senior friends that came with me. Mr. Paul, thank you for coming with me. And Mr. Okechi, my pilot, thank you for coming with me, sir. It's an honor to have all of you in this room. And for every one of you who left one or two things at home to be here, I celebrate your time, and I'm sure that you're going to get value for it. So one more time, let's give ourselves and all of these people I've recognized a round of applause. Okay, so while I wait for the media to load this slide, because I want to take you on a journey, a very simple journey on how you can build a brand that stands the test of time. So my name is Val Okafor. My job is very simple. I took up this job in 2014, and this job is to help the next person by my side become a better version of themselves. And I started from my community. I was born in Jos Plateau State, and for more than 20 years, I lived in that environment. But something remarkable happened, and to give to these men who played draft every day. And so nobody was asking me, young boy, how far? What do you want to be in future? What do you want to study? It wasn't my reality. So you either woke up to neighbors fighting one another, or somebody quarreling, or Mama Nkechi saying, why did you wear my slippers? Or why did you bring down my clothes? So it was a reality I had to take myself out of by reading books such as Think Big, Ben Carson, John Mason's An Enemy Called Average, Stephen R. Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and that helped me to create an ecosystem of possibilities even within that environment. So when I caught what seemed to be the light, I started from my sphere of influence, the church, to help other young people also take charge of themselves. All right, I'm saying all of this. Let's go to the next slide, because let's move. Yeah, because it's very important I state this. You see, when we were born, we didn't have the capacity to choose the kind of information that we were exposed to, right? We didn't have the ability to either filter what was coming from our parents, our peers, our associates, until we became aware of ourselves. So if you check from the 0 years to like maybe 20, 25, 18, you discover that you've been living a life that has been programmed already by the adults in your life. So before you even recognize yourself, you've made a lot of mistakes based off on the information that you've had over time. So when I caught the light, I went back to church and started helping these young ones to also catch the light. So I started from there. From there to community schools. I remember waking up one morning in 2019 and I said I want to impact 1,000 students, just like that, with 0 naira in my pocket. I called my friend Emmanuel. I said, Emmy, I want to do 1,000 students. He said, okay, I'm in. But the transport fare to do all of those things were not available. And but then it's history today. So I'm right here standing before you to talk about personal brand and to just deviate from the normal things the conventional things we've known about branding, how that you must look touch or have great colors or speak well. Those things are extremely nice, but they are container in my opinion. What matters is the content that carries this container, and that is you and I. So if you look at the screen, you see somebody very important, Nelson Mandela, right? So if I ask you, who is Nelson Mandela and what does he represent? Somebody, anybody from your seat, just chorus to me. freedom, okay, and an epitome of leadership in Africa, right? Now, Nelson Mandela was also called Madiba. Anybody? But Madiba was a title given to people born in a royal family. So they were doing very well. He was a trained lawyer. He was doing well. There was nothing to compel him really to start fighting for other people who were subjugated or suppressed. He would have, just lived his life, enjoyed himself, enjoyed his law profession. But he said, no, I can't be here, and my people are subjugated, are suppressed, oppressed, and discriminated against. So he started speaking on their behalf until that landed him to prison. You know the story, so I'm not going to bore you with it. Robert Sobukwe on the other side was doing his own work, right? So that's Nelson Mandela. And today, when we mention his name in rooms, nobody is asking, oh, how many houses did he have, or how much did he leave in his account. What we are thinking is leadership freedom. So at the end of the day, when our days on earth are over, nobody will talk about us in monetary or material terms. People are going to talk about us based off on the impacts that we are able to create. So that's Nelson Mandela. Let's go to the next one. Yes, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, who is currently the Director General of the World Trade Organization, and she represents a whole lot of things for Africa, and especially for women. This woman symbolizes capacity. She has demystified the conventional mentality that women belong to the kitchen and the other room. She has demystified the thought that, oh, women are only to be seen and not heard. That you can be a voice even in the boardroom. Does that make sense? So when you see Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, it kind of inspires you that I can also create something. Does that make sense? These are personal brands, and that's what I'm talking about. Let's go to the next. Oh my God, Mahatma Gandhi. Many people will think this guy was a one-time president of India, but he never was. He was just a nationalist, somebody who was moved with passion based on what the colonial master, the first century leadership idea in Nigeria. I've been privileged to be in the same room, work with him, exchange ideas, and collaborate with a great man like this. And how I can tell you that he's a great thinker, and he's a creator of solutions. So we can be in the retreat room and say, guys, we need to comb Nigeria. No. We've developed a program, we've pushed it out there, and it's working. And it's a privilege to be in the other side of the room where you think, cancel, add, subtract, remove, and the beautiful things that we see him doing in the lives of corporate leaders and youth. So it's amazing. Okay, so let's start this journey. So what does it take to build a timeless brand? Start with authenticity. Your authentic self is simply the consistency in your value system, the consistency in what you have believed in, the consistency in your message, the consistency in that problem that you want to solve as far as humanity is concerned. There's something called extended possibility, which the concept I developed last year, and I've been preaching the message of extended possibility. Ladies and gentlemen, and I think I said it 2 days ago to a group of people I was training. Ladies and gentlemen, the truth of the matter is that the creator of humanity, God himself, thinks in a way that empowers the world around him. Like, he is so orderly that anything that looks like disorganization, it's disgusts him. So anywhere you find him, there's order, arrangement, and he puts that ability inside every one of us. So that's why in your room, if it's dirty, there's this inner prompt to sweep it, except you just want to be there or want to be lazy. There's always this prompt within us to always want to clean our houses, arrange it, iron our clothes, look good. It's an ability God put on the inside of us. Now, if we want to take the conversation to a higher level, we start shifting from ourselves. The focus will now shift from ourselves to the world around us. So how can you now empower the world around you? With that conviction that you have, that message that you have, the solution blueprints that you have on the inside of you, you now extend it to the outside world. So some of you are already playing in the real estate like Mr. Raymond, empowering his world through real estate engagements and investments. All right. Some of you are playing in the fashion industry, creating designs that will, bring out the confidence in the lives of people who put on your clothes. Some of you are playing in the oil and gas sector, some public speaking, some human capital development like myself. So we have different sectors that we are extending the possibility that God would have come here if he were to be a human to do. Does that make sense at all? So these abilities that you have, some of you are propelling and pioneering it in the form of products or services. So if you're not able to empower the world around you, that means you have fully not activated your authentic self. Authenticity is just beyond this is how I feel, this is how I talk. No, it's actually going back to what you're supposed to do based on the reason why you are here. I believe strongly that God is an astute businessman. He wants ROI, returns on investment, on anything that leaves him. Does that make sense? And so if we go back to the talent story, you see the guy who had 5 traded it, the guy 2 traded it, the guy with 0 buried it. At the end of the day, he was punished for burying it. So it shows us that when everything is over, every one of us will kind of give account or tell the story on how we were able to use whatever it is that God has given us to impact our world. I hope I've not been able to brainwash you, but brain impact you. Okay, so that's authenticity. Let's go to the next one. All right, stand for something. And this has to do with that same message that I'm talking about, that same solution blueprint that I'm talking about, that idea that can empower the world beyond the one that you own. Stand for something. Have, all of these people that we saw their pictures, Nelson Mandela, we could easily say something. Freedom. Mahatma Gandhi, something. Mother Teresa, something. Tony Elumelu, something. So when we mention your name, even when you are not in, all of these people are not in this room, but we have something to say about them. And that's true for me. What are people going to say when you're not in the room? What are people going to say about you when you're not in the room? I think it's something that we should pay rapt attention to. Stand for something. And if you stand for that thing, this is what the conversation that will happen even when you are not physically present in that room, right? So please, let's do that. Okay, so I want to share my personal experiences and stories on how this journey started. I already, ab initio, I gave you a preamble of the journey from 2014. Now, this fresh journey started in 2017. And it says, serve first, shine later. How to build a timeless brand. Serve first, shine later. And when we talk about service, it mustn't always be about humanitarian activities. No, serving means being able to proffer solution in any field. Serve first, shine later. So if this picture was taken in Onuyi community in Usuka, Enugu State, what happened? I had just gotten admission, that was in 2015, to University of Nigeria. But before then, I already knew that I didn't want to graduate like every other student in this university. I wanted to have an indelible impact in that environment, my classmates and the people around me. So in 2017, Fela Durotue, who is my mentor, launched a program called the Fela Durotue Leadership Network, and I was one of the first 1,000 people to jump on that program. And for 1 year, he was mentoring us on what he called the 10 values of nation building, teaching us how to make positive impact on whoever and wherever, how to make a difference in people's life without asking what their name was, whether their name sound like our grandfather's own, or how the color of their skin. So he was just changing our mindset and redefining what leadership is. I said, okay, I take this message to villages. So I ran with the message to this community called Onuyi community. And if you can look at the cardboard sheets, you can see this little girl. I will make my family proud. It was one of the values of nation building. The other one said, I will transform the educational sector. The other one said, I will be a role model worthy of emulation. So that time, social media was not a thing. I didn't even know that people could post their things on social media, because that wasn't the aim. The aim was just to replicate the knowledge I had gotten from Fela Durotue in the lives of these children. Less than 10 years, all of them. I was teaching them active citizenship and leadership at, from 5 years to 10 years. So this village is called Onuyi Community. 7 before shining. So when I finished that, I sent a message to FD on Facebook. I said, sir, thank you for what you have taught us. I've been able to take this message to a village. Oh my God, Fela said, my Val, you warm my, I'm quoting him verbatim, you warm my heart with this. And so he went on his Instagram page that day and made this post. He said, today, I want to celebrate one of the many thousands of volunteers that make our movement thick. Thank you, Okafor Valentine, a campus ambassador of the Fela Durotue Leadership Network, who shared our 10 values with 18 children in the city of Nsukka. Here's what he said. Those kids don't know it yet, but they will owe you a great debt of gratitude. I was in my hotel room in Lagos in January. I went for some business consulting work, and one of the children from this community sent me a message on Instagram, sir, I am so person. I said, nah lie. Like he now sent me a picture that we took together. He said, I am this guy. I now want to study computer science. I said, oh my God, I felt nostalgia. Like, what? This guy in a community school thinking of coding, programming? Oh my world. I said, you know what? Don't worry. Any support that you need, I have friends in the tech space. They are going to mentor you. Anything you need, just reach out to me. So if you look at that last statement, what I was doing may not have made sense to them. They may not have understood what leadership was, but somewhere, somehow, those words were building life. Life and death lies in the power of the tongue. Whether you like it or not, it will break or make you. So that was what happened with one of these young people. And he reached out to say, now I have a dream to study programming and computer science. And that was it. So from 2017, go to the next slide. Let's continue to 2018. In 2018, already I was in 300 level. I'm talking about 7 firsts. Right? Being able to delay whatever gratification that we are looking for, because in my observation, my research, I've come to realize that it takes 21 years to be 21 years old. You can never jump the gun no matter how you try. You can't. You just have to follow that process. And John Maxwell put it well. He said there are no shortcuts to anywhere worth going. So anywhere that is worth going, you want to go through that process, that route. Does that make sense at all? So in 2018, the University of Nigeria put up a program called Convocation Week. It was a program for all the graduating students. I said I must be here because I was a conference freak. My classmates will make a joke and say, "Val, you're in every conference." Which one? So they were trying to taunt me to say, Oh, you're everywhere. I said, because it's only a man of vision. What do you do? What are you digging? Are you digging borehole? Are you digging a well? But it's that man that knows that he's building a skyscraper. Does that make sense? So anybody who is passing by will think he's wasting his time, but he knows what he's building. That you finished your own for a bungalow doesn't stop me from digging my foundation for a skyscraper. Right? So that was the mindset I had. I said, I don't want to feed the unemployment pipeline after school. I want to have so much value that will command the attention of employers of labor. So that was the mindset. So I attended that conference. In that conference, they invited two consultants, Afam Wokolo, who is currently now in the UK and helping businesses there, and Mrs. Noella Ogu, a business growth strategist. Her company is based in Lagos, the Ben and Christie Heritage Limited. So she was there speaking with so much confidence. I was like, where I sat, I was like, who gave this woman the morale to speak this way? What is propelling her to dish out knowledge so confident? I said, I want to speak like this one day. So she just asked, how many of you, because we had a lot of ladies in the room, how many of you would like to speak like me? All the ladies went up, me. Where I was just thinking, how do I add value to my generation? How do I add value to the people around me? So what I did was to go on Facebook and follow her. I followed her on Facebook. I started tracking all her activities. All her posts, I will comment. Okay, I will comment on her post. I'll do everything. So she started noticing that movement. Let me pause. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's welcome Miss Elisha Maman. Thank you so much, sir. And Miss Catherine, good to have you. Thank you, Vanessa Musa. Thank you so much. All right. So I started following her. Online. She would train Genesis group of companies. She would train Kilimanjaro. She would train, what's the name of this company? Chicken Republic, and I would like them. One day, I had an outreach at OP, an international orphanage home. I posted it online. This woman commented, guys, you needed to see the joy. I was so excited that this woman commented on my post. Oh, I've made it in life. I have made it. So somehow that engagement brought us closer. I was sending her new month messages. I just wanted to get her attention. Out of the blues, in April 2018, this woman called me on phone because my number used to be public on Facebook. She picked up the phone and called me. Hello, am I onto Val? I said, yes, ma. This is Noella Ogo. I jumped from my reading table and went to my door, and said, yes, ma. She said, Val, I've gone through your Facebook profile and you qualify for what we want to do in the city of Nsukka. I said, okay, ma. I'll call you tomorrow to tell you of a project you have to do for us. I said, okay, ma. She didn't call the next day. She called after 2 months. She said, hey, Val, I'm ready now. It was now August. Semester was ending. Gary had finished. Rice had finished. Students were preparing to now go back home. She called me. Said, Val, there's this program we do for adolescents. It's called Finishing School, where we teach them general manners, etiquette, leadership. And you qualify for that. Will you do that? I said, yes, ma. I did not even ask, what would this responsibility embody? What is it going to take from me? I didn't ask. Why? You know how Elisha saw in Elijah who he wanted to become, and he poured water in this man's hands and served him, even when the prophets, other prophets, were mocking him. So I said, I must pour water in this woman's hand, whether I like it or not, whether hunger is in this school or not. So I said, yes, ma'am. She said, okay, go to the local government chairman. For where? How? Go there, tell them that Noella sent you. That was how I carried my legs. I went to the local government chairman. I spoke to her, I said, I'm here from Noella. Oh, Noella, oh, okay, what do you want? I said, we need a hall for this program. He said, okay, go and check this one. If you like it, go. I checked it, ticked. I called her, ma, we've got to the hall. She said, thank you. Now we need projector. Like she was dishing orders as though I would just go to the table and pick them. She go and find it. So I got a projector. She said, Val, we need sound system. Remember that this was Nsukka, please. And Nsukka is a village. Is okay? So it was hard to get this kind of thing. They had never experienced finishing school. These were people who were managing to go to the conventional school. And you are having a program like this. So the big elephant in the room was the participants. So I said, Ma, we have gotten projector, we have gotten sound system, we have gotten a hall. She said, yes, we now need participants. We need 150 children to attend. Where will I get 150 children? She said, Val, in Lagos and Calabar and Abuja, people pay 25,000, 2018. People pay 25,000 naira to attend this event. I don't know why people will not see value in this. I need 150 children in that room. Yes, ma. I wrote letters to Christ Church, St. Peter's Cathedral, and the churches within the school community. Listen, guys, I went from door to door, knocking. Hello, ma, my name is so 300 level 2. There's a program I want your, which program? Leadership. This small boy don't become leader. How will you be teaching small boy leadership? I said, no, you're misunderstanding it. That leadership is also the ability to wake up and set your goals. Say, no, God, it's the politician that you're supposed to be teaching. One woman, I remember, said, you people want to kidnap our children? One said, how much are you going to pay our children to teach them? That was the mentality. That was what I was confronted with. But I all die and I die. We must do this thing. We must do it. I don't know how it happened, but we had 120 children in that room. My madam who was issuing orders from Lagos flew in 2 days to the event and walked into the event. Everything was set. Say, okay, that's good. And she taught and everything was beautiful. Some of the parents of these children tiptoed into the room. At the end of the day, children were happy, parents were happy. Everybody were just happy. They didn't want to go because it was like something new to them. How to respond on phone, how to shake, how to dress. Wow, it was beautiful. The local government said, you people are doing it the next year. Now I was in 400 level, writing my project. Mrs. Noella calls again, Val, we are doing it. I say, Mom, in 400 level, I'm doing my project. She said, no, we are doing it. This time around, the University of Nigeria and Nsukka partnered with us, so they gave us a venue for free. She said, Val, we are elevating the number. We are doing 240 children. Go and get them. From where, ma? I don't know. I went the same way, wrote those letters, went to communities, went from one community school to another to get these people to attend. At the end of the day, we had 220 rather, children in participant. Now, after that event, she went to her LinkedIn and wrote a post. It's not clear. She said, a leader is only as good as his team. In 2018, I had the vision to extend our annual holiday program, annual holiday personal development program for youngsters, which ran in our major cities in Nigeria, to those in the rural communities. But this time it was going to be free of charge. The program usually costs 20,000 per participant, but the snag was that I was based in Lagos, south of Nigeria, and this program was to be held in Nsukka, east of Nigeria. So I called on one particular undergraduate at the University of Nigeria Nsukka, who I only met on Facebook, Val Okafor. He agreed to become the program coordinator, a job he executed exceptionally well. In less than a week, he put up a highly motivated and enthusiastic team of undergraduates who organized the event without asking for a kobo. I was able to focus on strategic matters and sponsorship. Amazingly, I only met my team and Val for the first time 2 days to the event. Because of their commitment and passion, we were able to train 150 kids in 2018 and 240 kids in 2019. Breakfast, lunch, study packs, and certificates provided. I did not ask her to make this post on LinkedIn. I just got a notification that had been tagged to a post. But something she wrote here, still stands out for me. She said, without asking for a kobo. And that, if you look at the theme, it said, serve first, shine later. This woman, if I asked her for 100,000, believe me, in 3 months that would have exhausted. I would have bought fufu, I would have bought gari, I would have bought rice, I would have bought the good things students needed. But no matter how much you eat today, you will still eat tomorrow. No matter how much food you have today, you will still be hungry tomorrow. So I needed something beyond, like the Samaritan woman, the water that I will drink, that I will not thirst again. And she gave me that. What was that? She gave me recommendations. She said, Val, take my signature anywhere you want to go to. My signature goes with you. And I cannot tell you how many global opportunities that signature have opened for me because of service. And being able to delay whatever gratification that my mates were enjoying at the time. We are still friends today, but in the capacity of, hello Val, I need a strong young person who can serve in so company. So let us bear the brunt and allow ourselves to be 21 years old after 21 years and serve right before. See, it's going to come naturally. It's going to come naturally. It's just going to happen, whether you like it or not. Just by being a person, and I've said this several places, that using the pipe analogy, the pipe doesn't beg to be wet. The pipe doesn't say, you must use me, you must. No, the design compels you to use it. And by using it to pass water, the pipe becomes wet naturally. So long that pipe is passing water, it will forever remain wet. So let us stay in our design as human beings. And if you remember what I said, the ability to empower the world around us beyond the one we own. So when we step into that realm to constantly empower the world around us through products or services, you don't need to ask for reward, because I have known that if a man is diligent in what he does, he will stand before people who command attention. He's going to stand before princes, people who understand the worth of what they carry, and the reward comes naturally. Does that make sense? I hope I've not been able to brainwash you, but brain impact you, ba? Okay, so let's go to the next one. So now, share stories, not just statistics. So because, of course, I would have gone ahead to give you so much statistics, which will make sense because of my line of work has to do with a lot of research and all of that. So, but share stories like I've shared with you. What exactly have you done? What exactly have you done differently in your environment, in that field that you're working in, or wherever you find yourself, the services you provide, the products that you're creating? How has it transformed people? And what consolidated this point was my experience with one of my clients. She works with Union Systems, a big tech firm in Lagos. They provide tech services for banks. And she said, oh, Mr. Val, I want you to help me train me public speaking and all. So when I started the introduction, she just had to stop me to say, wow, I want to learn how to tell these stories of impact and all of that, because she just came, I'm the head of marketing, I'm the this of that, I'm the that of this, and that was all. I said, wow, you're doing an amazing job. But here, see how I've been able to help how many so number of people realize who they are and how they're now changing their communities. You say, right, you sound as though you have done so many things, and of course that's true. So let's be able to share stories of what we have done beyond statistics and beyond the titles that comes in front of our names. Does that make sense at all? Okay, so can we go back? The SWOT model talks about situation, obstacle, action, and result. So what is the problem? Okay, and then what are the obvious challenges that you can help to mitigate, to ameliorate rather, the action that you took and the results. All right, be consistent but evolve. I like this. Be consistent but evolve. Does that make sense? We harp on consistency. Consistency is very good, but it's possible to be consistent doing one thing. Yeah. So as you remain consistent, you are also evolving, you're growing. So back in 2014, I had the time to go to school, secondary schools. It's a beautiful thing to do, but I don't have the time now. Does that make sense? Now I don't have the time to go for those outreaches. Now I sit behind my computer developing policy frameworks that will now speak to the development of those young people. Now I sit behind the table drafting programs for organizations that when they launch, it will help to impact. So it's like a top to bottom approach and no longer from bottom to top approach. So as you remain consistent on that thing, you are also looking for the next level of that thing, because I've said it, that it's possible to be loyal to something that is working and you forget the next level of it. It happened with To Go is gone. Right? So we must constantly reinvent ourselves, our products, and our services, even as we remain consistent. However, you are evolving. So now on my career aspiration, the next level that I'm thinking is, how do I now help presidents of nations, right? How do I now help policy influencers? How do I now help multinationals shape their corporate social responsibility to affect young people? How do I now, speak, and by the grace of God, I've had the little opportunity to attend global events and sit in places where world leaders meet, and then we exchange ideas on how Africa doesn't need aid. We need partnership, we need collaboration. I've been part of those engagements to the glory of God, right? So that's where I am now, consistent but evolving. So you are consistent, but you are also evolving and looking at how things can be done from a funnel point of view. All right, let's move. Protect your reputation. Timeless branding. Character is your biggest brand asset. Keep promises. Avoid public drama, because we live in a blown head age. A lot of people have opinions of, if you go on Instagram right now, just load your Instagram, you will see a lot of things happening. A lot in this country. And if you want to check the seriousness of a nation, check the news headlines. And it pains me a lot that what appears on the news headline is who is not sleeping with who, so do you understand? So, and I checked the other time, I'm looking at, they just launched a business that will help 10,000 youths to become employable. And I come back home and we are talking about, does that make sense? So now your attention is very vital and important. You now have to focus your energy on things that make sense, right? So stay away from public drama. Who is dragging who is not dragging what, who is pulling down the names of what's online and all. The internet never forgets, and you must they will bring it back. You think nobody knows you, do one bad thing, they will go and harvest your past. The tweet of 2008, they will bring it back, and you'll be wondering, where did this come from? So we must stay away from public drama and choose partnerships carefully. But I want to harp on the character part. Character is your biggest brand asset. There are people who do not have refund policies. Once you pay, you have paid, whether you like the services or not. There's nothing we can do. And in my opinion, I don't think it's fair for people to come and experience your services and they feel dissatisfied. There should be, some form of compensation. So you leave it open. I've experienced it. This last client said, well, I don't feel, because our client satisfaction officer was supposed to follow up. That was her job. She said, nobody followed her up. She sent me a message. She said, Val, I don't think I'm getting value in this relationship. Can I get a refund? I was in a meeting. I said, oh my God. No. This cannot be. This cannot be. How can you come in contact with me or my brand and you have something negative to say? No. I called her on phone. I apologized that, see, it was supposed to be this person who will follow you, but I take responsibility for that failure. And we got on board. It was an amazing, for one of the most amazing client relationship I've ever had. So character is very important. In the seas of money before cash, it's character that's the first. You may not have money now, but if you have character, especially in Nigeria, it's going to open doors for you. So character is very important. And of course, choose partnerships carefully. Okay, we're wrapping up. Yeah, own your digital real estate, and this is very simple because we are talking about timeless personal brand, and technology has come to help us to make that work. Some of the images I got that I showed you, I got them online. So if you want to build something that will stay, maybe you want to leave your footprints on the internet, make use of technology. Now, what that means is, apart from your website, apart from your portfolio site, whatever it is, whatever you have done that is significant, you can put it out there on digital footprints, on social media, on blogs. And sometimes these blogs just take a token to publicize it for you. Vanguard, Sun, Tribune, The Nation, just those blogs, right? See what we've been able to do in the digital space. For example, this event, at the end of the day, so number of people were exposed to XYZ knowledge, and it's on Nation's newspaper. So that when we Google either the Elevate or we Google Cynthia, we will see things beyond just Facebook, Instagram handles. We'll also see messages from Sun newspaper, from the Nations, to say that this is what she has done. I'm now talking about leveraging technology to build digital real estate. Does that make sense at all? All right, so that's it. So you put it out there, put your articles out there, put your stuff beyond just Facebook. There are blogs that you can trust. Okay, my mic is off. Okay, there are blogs that you can trust, and okay, is it cool? There are blogs that you can trust, and then you put them out there. Why am I saying this? Because I have encountered situations where I was asked to submit media publications. So the selection committee asks for media publications. We want to see your articles. In fact, right now they have moved to public speaking outings. I was applying to a role in the United Nations, and they say, oh, Baba, send us link to your media outings. We want to hear you now, because anybody can be intelligent with AI, right? But you cannot be intelligent if you don't know what to say. You will be exposed. So they now want to know how you are able to, your thought leadership. They want to enter into your brain to see your thought process, to analyze how you are able to pass your message in a compelling manner. So all of these things are very important. If you speak at an event, get 1 minute clip out of it and share across these social profiles, so that you never can tell which opportunity will speak big for you. Is that the end of my slide? All right, so build a community and not just an audience. This is the last one, right? Okay, so I have less than 10 minutes, if I'm not mistaken, less than 10 minutes. Okay, less than 5 minutes. So build a community, not just audience. Some people are so interested in followership. I have 300,000 followers. I have 1 million followers, and they brand themselves as influencers. It's not true. You're not an influencer because of the number of followers you have. You are an influencer because your activities positively impact the lives of people following you. That's what an influencer is. So build real community and not just audience. And I've been able to do this with some of our programs. Recently, we just marked 4 years of people who have gone through that program, and the beauty is that they have built communities by themselves. So there's a Lagos community, there's an Abuja community, there's a Port Harcourt community, there's Enugu community, there's a South African community, Niger Republic, Pakistan, even UK, so all of these places. And the beauty is that, in fact, we had one lecturer who said, any of you from this community who happens to just study in Unizik, please don't hesitate to call me on phone. Just mention that you are from this community and I will give you help. That's the community I'm talking about. Community of people who will use their influence, their resources to empower other people. So you can transcend beyond what is happening out there and funnel it down to people who you can impact with tangible results. Okay, let's move because of our time. Leave a legacy, not just a name. Your brand should outlive you. Of course, document your knowledge, mentor other people, and then create systems for this mentorship. Of course, leveraging the internet. So right now, my program is ongoing, even as I stand here to speak to you, because we developed a learning management system where anybody in the world can just plug into and they learn. So when they learn, it's just automated like that. So it creates a system that still continues to impact people so that you are able to navigate wherever you find yourself. Okay, final thoughts. You don't build a timeless brand by trying to be unforgettable. You build it by becoming undeniably useful. So the aim is not, I don't want to be forgotten. I don't want to be forgotten. The focus should now be on how can I be useful where I am in this church, in this community, in this environment, in this school, in my class. How can I be useful? And with that, you can now build a timeless brand. I'll share this story because I promised Hawa that I was going to share it here and today. So, and that is about the delayed gratification, serving, and then following the process of becoming 21 years after 21 years. So Hawa, the One Young World just launched the Hawa Ojefo Scholarship. My God, that is so big. Now, the One Young World is the largest gathering of change makers in the world. That program is going to take place in Germany by November. This lady is, I think she lives here in Abuja, in Nigeria, an ambassador for mental health. An advocate for mental health. She teaches all of that. But the story, the message, the morale in this story is that, see, she never believed that advocacy will get her to where she is now, where she has a scholarship to her name. So you're now applying to the Hawa Ojefo Scholarship, and you have a chance to earn $25,000. Now the big one is that she won $20 million. Please press your calculator. I pressed it this morning. It was giving me 32 billion naira. I don't know. Come on now. So the Melinda Rich Foundation said, Hawa, you're doing a great job, and you're one of the 12 leaders across the world we're empowering with $20 million. Oh my God, people have money, sir. So the beauty is just, can you just become that pipe and allow water to flow? Right? Just don't, you see, oh my God, there are certain things I know now. I'm no longer bothering myself or struggling. I want to just be human. I just want to be me and allow what's being human and the attributes of being human to bring for me, because I know that he who has sent me will not allow me to waste or to be useless in the world. So every resources that will enable me to carry out that extended possibility will be provided. Once again, I hope I have not been able to brainwash you, but impact you, that you can be undeniably useful by building a timeless personal brand. Thank you very much for your time.